Okay, so tonight I want to talk about Cassandra, or Cassie. So basically, Cassie filed a rape allegation against Diddy and said that he broke into her apartment when they were together a few years ago and raped her. I want to say I believe her. I want to say I understand why it probably took her so long to talk about this and to file charges. Um, First of all, like Diddy's really rich. He's really wealthy and really powerful. Cassie is just not even nearly as powerful as him. And it's really scary to like do anything in opposition to someone like that. So I understand why she would be fearful. But I hope that Cassie realizes like by speaking up, the hero that she's being to other women. I think it's really important. I think you're kind of starting to find, and at least via YouTube in some ways, if you follow a variety of creators, you will notice a variety in black perspectives. Like there's not really two black people who have similar ideologies, at least in the online space right now, which is hopefully showing that the black community is certainly not a monolith, and everybody has like all these differing uh, opinions and stories based on their own lived perspective and their own interests. Africa's a big place. So if you're talking about black Americans, if you're talking about continental Africans, like to each his own, right? It really depends on where the person is coming from and what they are saying, which is why you have to listen to the story. Now, in Diddy's case, there's some things that I think are really strange, and I want to point to them being more, how do you say it? Like propaganda, I suppose, to like prop up this like image of uh, black male social acceptability, I suppose. Here's the thing, like you don't actually need to be, you don't need some image of yourself to be propped up and to have other people tell good stories about you or bad stories about you if you're just kind of like being yourself. It's another reason I would say, like, if you want to probably live a pretty like even keeled life, I don't know if I would say you have to become like some Orthodox Protestant conservative. I don't think that, but I think by simply living by like avoiding the seven deadly sins, you'll probably live a pretty decent life. And just think really about ethics, like do unto others as you would want done unto you. That just like following that, you'll probably like do well no matter what happens to you. But sometimes like awful shit will happen to you, like in this case with Diddy. So the one of the reasons why I think it's just like I feel like he looks so guilty to me, and I just want to point this out as some social indicators of things that I've seen. Dads that are good dads don't really seem to need to like go above and beyond to showcase to any other community that they're good dads, which is something that like Diddy is doing right now and is really strange. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but he's been like posting his baby like everywhere, just everywhere. Every picture. Oh, it's love this, love that. He wrote a whole album. Love this, love that, love. It's like, I mean, I understand like loving your child. It's fine. Like, okay, but like we don't all need to be like wrapped up in your kid's business. Like I don't care. That's what I don't know. And then it's also just very strange because he has like so many other kids, and then like we've never seen him do this with his other children who are like black. So to me, it's giving like internalized racism and anti-blackness, but you could say you feel your feelings. But another part of this is like Cassie. So obviously, like the baby that he has now with the new baby mama, she's an Asian woman. Cassie was also of the Asian community, and they had a very very long relationship. Like the Cassie and Diddy relationship in terms of like wow, pop culture and hip hop iconicness, it's pretty epic. Like, so basically, like Cassie wrote this song, like "Long Way to Go," or she did another song with Lil Wayne. I can't remember this. I'll put the song in the description box. But it was basically her talking about how she like wants to be Only Girl, I think is what it was called. It was like, I remember growing up and like watching that video and being like, yeah, that's a good point. You know, she was basically saying like, I wanna be in a relationship with you. I really like you. Like, why won't you make me your main girl? I've done everything I can do. I'm only here for you. I want to be with you. I feel like most men would be like, wow, this is a prize. Like, the modelizer that most men are, they'd love that, right? And we would have ideally some sort of like Giselle and whatever that NFL player, or like Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift, something like that. We would have them being that, but it wasn't really that. Like, Diddy strung her along for like a very long time, and then she wanted a family and she wanted to get married. So she literally did that. She broke up with him and married someone else, and now she's got like 3 children with another guy. But they were together for like, I want to say it was like 10 years. Like, she was helping him raise his children. Like, she was at all the sports games. Like, that was Diddy's girlfriend. And I feel like I'm not, like I said before, like, relationships are really tricky. And I think a lot of people will try to paint this picture to you that they're like simple. There's going to be ups and downs in any relationship. Like, dealing with other people is difficult. People are trying to make it seem like those of us who are single are so lonely, and like that's a thing we need to be afraid of. Like, if you're that bored and lonely, get a hobby, take a walk, listen to an album, write down some feelings, read a book. There are 4 things that you can do if you are lonely and bored. That is the solution to your loneliness problem. There, I solved it. You can walk your ass to the library. There's a library in like every city in America. So go get a book, go get a hobby. Okay, get interest. Go find a television show and join a fan fiction thing. And if you don't have a job, get a fucking job. There you go. That's all. That takes up all your time. So now you're not. You shouldn't be that bored. There's actually shit to do. Anyway, so the thing is, like, when you're in a relationship with someone else, you got to share your shit. You got to share space. You got to now buy two meals. You got to be concerned about the feelings and emotions of like someone else. The reason I can make these videos every night, like, I can edit, I've journaled feelings, written blog posts, traveled all around. I can do a lot of shit because I have time. Sometimes, I mean, I do work, so like I don't have like all the free time, but like I have time. Um, when you're like being in a, anyway, so let's go back. So what does this have to do with Cassie and Diddy? Like, clearly I would assume that Diddy is pretty like misogynistic in his like relationship. Like, he wants to be like the dude. I think he gives a really good example of this in that song he did with like Ashanti and Carisha, where he's like talking about how like he likes to see his like girls shine. And even go look at his past history. I think, I'm not sure about this, but I feel like Diddy's dated like Lori Harvey. Kim Porter was also like a supermodel. Like, Diddy likes like really gorgeous like women, right? Like top tier, like wonderful, gorgeous women. And it's like, okay, like that's what he's into. And like he's really wealthy. He's been wealthy for a very long time. Um, I remember even growing up, I think I did another like take on this. It was like Nasty Girl, the video, but it was a video, it's a music video by like Diddy and Usher and Nelly. And this is back when I was like really into like, I had a fascination with fuckboys. Let's put it that way. And so I was like, wow, they're all so hot. They're so cute. Oh my God, I love them. And I like hadn't really had any relationships at all at that point. And so I would just like watch the videos to try to like understand like guy culture. Like, oh, it's like this. Like, and I think even at that time I was modeling. So it was cool because I was like, oh, this is what it's like. You go to like parties with rappers and they're all really cool, you know. You'd be like, oh wow, that's so awesome. I don't know, that I didn't have any other perspective to pull from. So like, me and my friends would just watch that video. We'd be like, we're gonna be like this, yay! It's like, anyway, and that's not the point though. So Diddy and Cassie were like actually living that life, right? And so I think that's why so many of us found it cool. But I think it's the way that she describes the situation. I didn't read, there's an article in the Cut that you can read if you want to like learn more about exactly what happened. But it sounds like she's saying like, you know, she had her own apartment or whatever, and he like comes into the apartment basically and rapes her. And sometimes, sometimes if you're in a relationship with someone, it's not like they're a stranger. So rape doesn't necessarily have to occur between strangers. So it's not like some person that you don't know comes in and then has sex with you, and that's what rape is. An intimate partner, like someone that you're like your boyfriend, your husband, can rape you. Rape has to do with consent. So it's like if you don't feel like having sex with someone that you're in a relationship with and you say no, and they force themselves on you, that is called rape. That's what that is. And because especially if you are female, you are probably physically weaker. Like you are not as strong as a male. So like that's what I think a lot of people don't understand in these relationships, like marriage and stuff. This is why it's kind of really sickening in the African and the Black community. Like so few women have advocacy and like just an ability to have an opinion. They actually don't understand like what rape is. Like we actually see this in Jada Pinkett's book with her great grandmother, who it seems like she was raped. She got pregnant at like 14 or something. Or even in that other video I did where I was like unpacking Destiny Ute and how that other woman, she was like the Black community failed her or whatever. So sometimes like you have this opinion as a woman, like, oh, I'm just supposed to like let this guy have access to my body because he's my boyfriend and that's what he wants, or he's my husband and that's what he wants. And that's not true. That's not true. Like you have bodily autonomy. Like you have the right to say yes or no or whatever it is that you want. Like you have the right to have control and access over your body. It's another reason why I made that video. Like I've had to concern myself with my personal safety because like it's actually not safe to just like be in a relationship with any male. Like as soon as you kind of like let your guard, like right now I have like building security, I have like locks on my door, I have like police officers, I have like my own self, I have like a knife. Like it's just like I have things that I can use to protect myself if I feel like unsafe. But even then, like that doesn't, like some guy who's like stronger and like scarier could probably like take me out. And that's just like the reality, because it's like the animal kingdom, unfortunately. um so anyway, like this just seems really plausible, like it could have happened, and it probably did happen. And I honestly, just given kind of I don't know, it seems like it's like a mystery for some males about what rape is. I don't even know if Diddy knows what he did was rape until like obviously she files a charge. So now he will know. But like it is. And I think it's a bigger conversation that we need to have in society about rape, especially I think there's just so many parts of society that like I don't know. I feel like I would hope that some Black males become hip to you and just like participate in mainstream society. But either way, I don't know. You can't like wait around for that to happen. I think it's more important for for Black women to just have some fucking autonomy for yourself. I know it seems like it's super cliche to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go get an education, go get a job, go get an apartment, but like you need to do that. You need to do that. Like it would be really nice, I guess, if you want a relationship and some good prospect comes along, that's nice. But I think just for your own physical safety, it's probably more important that you like plan for that not to happen. There was actually a story that I learned about today. So I wasn't around when this happened. It sounds like it happened on Monday. But one of the guys that I work with, in his building, I guess a girl had moved in, or she was Airbnb-ing it for one of the units there for like a night or something. And he said he saw her come in on like the Sunday night, I guess, and Monday morning they were rolling out her dead body because her boyfriend had murdered her like overnight. And that was on Sunday night. So Monday is when he saw the body like being rolled out. And I guess he knew the maintenance guy who helped clean the unit after it happened. But like domestic violence and like the violence of men toward women is really real, really, really real. And not all, but a lot of men lack um emotional intelligence, and so when they get angry, they just like take their anger out via physical violence. That's just a thing. A lot of women do other things where we talk about our feelings. Now a lot of us have YouTube. Okay, you can, if you don't have like, or if you don't want to like weigh your problems on a friend, you can weigh your problems down on the internet and have other people who are like listening and empathizing, even to just like get your thoughts out just so that you're talking about them. And this is like really therapeutic for me. This is why I continue. No, it seems really strange because you might be like, oh, fucking girl. She's always like talking, sharing her fucking feelings. Oh, her feelings. That's true. That's me, Olivia, with the feelings and the feelings wheel. What can I say? Um, but yeah, I think Diddy did it. I think he did it. I might put the Taylor Swift thumbnail on this one. She's got that song. He did it. He did it.